What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Knights of the Old Republic remake rumors. Now, this comes from Maddie of Defining Duke, and it's a little confusing of how exactly he's talking, like what he's actually saying. So I want to read through what the Reddit post says, and then read through what another person said he said, and kind of clarify it a little bit. Okay, so basically he claims a source who has shared multiple correct rumors with him, like the announcement date and its production, says that Knights of the Old Republic will have different play modes similar to God of War and Neo. How this works remains to be seen, but I thought it was interesting, given that Knights of the Old Republic's playstyle is so synonymous. Edit, when he says like God of War and Neo, he means instead of semi-turn-based combat, it's more like real-time God of War fighting. I think Darksiders 1 and 2. And this other user said, here's what he actually said. The game is going to have action combat inspired by God of War and Neo, and the game might have different types of game modes. Not sure if this means at the same time or that you choose one at the start of the game. He then compared it to the slowdown or turn-based sequences of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Dragon Age Inquisition. So from that one, I think I can at least theorize what he's talking about, right? So obviously, you have turn-based style, and if you remember, in like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think Dragon Age, what he's talking about is, remember, Dragon Age was more of the you choose a move, you do the move, they choose the move, and then as the games got on, it became, well, you could still have that mode. That mode still exists, and same thing with Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy VII, I believe, was classic mode, right? You could pick it, and you could still do it pauses, you do your move, which is Knights of the Old Republic, right? And then or, I guess, you could pick to not play that mode, and you could have it be more, freestyle. Now, I think if he's talking about God of War and Neo, then maybe that's how the combat itself feels, like when you're pressing the buttons. Do you know what I mean? That's something, I guess, well, he says inspired by, which I guess is kind of similar to that, right? But that's how I read it. That's how I interpret it, is it's probably going to be a thing where it's, hey, do you want to play it like the classic Knights of the Old Republic, right? Is that how you want to do it? And you pick that at the beginning of the game. Like the guy said, like he's not sure if you would pick in the moment. I don't think you would. You would pick it in the beginning of the game. Do you want to play it this way, or do you want to play it that way? And one of the ways would be, do you want to play it that, the very structural, how they had it back in the day? Do you want to play it like that, or do you want it to not be like that, where you're just pressing the buttons and you're doing things, again, much in the way of maybe like a Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I think a lot of people on Reddit are kind of pointing out. I love Knights of the Old Republic. I think it all works. I think it all has its legacy. It all, I guess, comes together to make the game what it was. But I also think, like, having a more free flow kind of thing like a Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't hurt. In fact, in terms of like Star Wars and faster paced action and lightsabers and blasters, I actually think it kind of makes more sense to do it like, a little bit updated. And I know that could maybe upset people. Well, both ways probably will upset different people. You know what I mean? If you were forced to play it one way, it would upset some. And if you were forced to play it like a new way, that would upset other people. I guess, again, like the best case scenario, or the best way to avoid that, much like Dragon Age does, much like Final Fantasy does, is to just give you both options. If you want to play it your way, you can. If you want to play it a new way that, probably will work, hopefully, right? You could do it that way. So, it's, again, a little confusing how it was presented and people kind of interpreting it a little bit differently, but that's how I read it, and I think it does make sense. I think a lot of games that were like Knights of the Republic or Final Fantasy VII back in the day, or Dragon Age obviously is a newer-ish game compared to those, like the first Dragon Age. Those games are fine, and again, they have their place, but I think obviously a lot of games are moving away from that, which, maybe makes people upset, and I get that. I understand, if you really appreciate and like that old style, and I think, again, some games are finding a nice balance where you can still do that. There's an entire mode dedicated to that, or not. And then some games try to do kind of like both combined, and they don't give you an option of picking, right? It's just, here's how it's going to be, and you just do it. And then some games do let you pick, and then hopefully Knights of the Republic is one of those games. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. I do a brand new video on the channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.